Coming up on Hands on Mac, let's take a look at what you need to do to make sure that your Mac is backed up locally on your device. Stay tuned.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Welcome back to Hands on Mac. I am Mikah Sargent, and today we are taking a look at Time Machine, what you need to know to get this feature set up. Time Machine is a means of backing up your Mac and making sure that you have multiple backups available if anything were to happen to your machine. Time Machine allows you to kind of roll back and look through the different backups that you've had. And if you run into any issues, if you accidentally permanently delete a file, this keeps that file from actually being permanently deleted and gives you access to it once again. Time Machine is integrated into macOS, so it's very simple to use, very simple to access. So let's take a look at Time Machine on macOS. All right, here we are on macOS, and the first thing that you're going to need is some form of external drive. I have a Samsung SSD. This is a T7 SSD. You can use a spinning hard drive as an external drive. You can use a solid state drive. You can use a network attached drive. There are loads of options. I am choosing to use this USB version. One thing, of course, if you do choose to use a USB version, something that plugs in, you'll need to plug it in regularly to actually perform the backup. So I'm plugging it into the Mac and giving it a second to load. And once it loads, then what we are going to do is we're going to launch system settings, and we are going to choose General, and then we are going to choose Time Machine. Now, when Time Machine pops up, you will notice that currently there is a device that is listed as a Time Machine backup. That is a device that I have called CalDigit. Now, importantly, this is one version of an account. This is on this machine. This is the Mikah TWiT account. I also have my personal account on this machine, and the CalDigit device is connected with that. So you'll notice there's this little I next to it. And that means that Time Machine was not able to back up to CalDigit because it was running on battery power. So keep in mind that, of course, you will need to be connected to you'll need to be connected to power to perform a Time Machine backup, although you do have the option to make some changes based on your battery and power saver preferences. So when you have a Time Machine backup, Time Machine does a few things. First and foremost, it will kind of keep a local version of your machine that is taken hourly for the past 24 hours. After that, it does daily backups for the past month and then weekly backups for all previous month. So what happens is over time, as you get more backups, you're going to lose some of the older backups because the theory is it's probably not something that you'll need. So once a week backups for all previous months. And as you continue to put stuff onto the device, those older backups are going to be removed to make room for new stuff. So Time Machine is kind of a rolling backup option. It's not always keeping everything that you have. Now, as you can see, already have a Time Machine backup on here, but what we're going to do is create a new one because we have this T7 SSD that we want to use as our Time Machine backup. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the plus button in Time Machine, and it's going to automatically suggest a disk that is available. As you can see, the T7 is the one that I want. If you had network attached storage connected, you could use that in this place, but we'll choose Set Up Disk, and there are some different options here. You have the option to either encrypt or not encrypt your data, and you can set a limit for how much of that external hard drive you're going to use for Time Machine storage. So you can limit it to 1 terabyte all the way down to 100.01 gigabytes. I'm going to choose none. I would want this whole drive to be able to be used as a Time Machine backup. I would be making this strictly a Time Machine backup. And I do recommend that you do encrypt your backup. So I'm going to choose a password for this. I'm typing that in now. And once I've got that, it's going to use that to encrypt the backup. If you don't encrypt the backup, that means that anybody who has access to the drive could technically gain access to your backups and the files and things that you have there. We'll choose done. And it says that this does require a password hint. So I will use my typical password hint, which is, And now it is going to automatically prepare this drive. Now, this drive was in one file format. Depending on the file format, it may sort of take out what's going on with the drive and put the proper file format for this drive. And so that's just something to bear in mind, that whenever you select a drive, it may erase the drive and turn it into the proper formatting for the drive. Now, once you've got a Time Machine backup option here, you can right click on it and choose to back up to that specific drive. So it does it at a given time, but if you like, you can start the backup. So I'm just simply going to right click and choose backup to T7 now. And what it's going to do now is scan the system and find what needs to be backed up. And then it will put that device backup onto this device. Now I'm actually going to cancel this process. And I'm going to show you what it looks like to remove a Time Machine backup from the drive. But while that's skipping, let's go ahead and choose options down here at the bottom. Under options, you can do a little bit of scheduling. So you can choose when a backup happens. Do you do it manually, where you actually do the Time Machine backup? Do you do it automatically every hour, automatically every day, or automatically every week? And then here was the option that we would want to have. That's even if we're on battery power, go ahead and do a backup. And then last but not least, you have a section called exclude from backups. If there's a portion of your PC, your machine, your Mac that you don't want to have backed up, you will need to add that to the exclude from backups options. You'll notice that volumes/T7, the name of this actual drive, is listed there because you don't want to back up your backup. And there may be other things that you don't want to have as part of Time Machine. You simply hit the plus to add that there. It'll give you the option to choose from Finder, and then you can you'll find it listed there. Simply clicking on one of those list options and choosing the minus will remove it. Now I am going to click on T7 and choose minus to remove that as a backup option, because we don't actually want to use the T7 as our backup drive. Instead, what we're going to do is we are going to plug in the drive that is the actual Time Machine backup for this Mac. And once this is plugged in, it's going to ask for the password. I will choose show hint, and then I will hide the hint. And the reminder there is that the password I chose is the same one as another password that I have. And I will choose to unlock it, at which point it will gain access to the cal digit. And then we have some options here. Of course, this is going to do a normal backup as we need to. But what we want to do is kind of close out of this and go up to Time Machine, and we're going to choose Browse Time Machine Backups. When we choose Browse Time Machine Backups, you're going to see those snapshots that exist on this machine. So right now, it's kind of populating them. And remember, it does every hour for the last 24 hours, every week for the last month, and then and from there, then it's going to save them out even further. So November to February and March. So here we can see today on May 8th, the last option here, the last time I plugged this in was on March 12th, 2024. And I can scroll back to even further, and you'll notice that not much is changing because very little changes on this machine. However, if I did change things on this machine, or if I was to view the Time Machine backup for this on my actual machine and my login account, you would see the desktop changing quite a bit. So we can go back all the way to December and see what's there. We'll choose cancel, but at any time we could click on one of those folders that exists as part of the Time Machine backup and choose restore. So what we'll do is we'll go here, and at any time if you are seeing that backup, particularly if you're using network attached storage, you may find that it slows down your network. You can always click in the menu bar on the Time Machine icon and choose skip this backup. Again, to access Time Machine, you choose browse Time Machine backups, and choosing open Time Machine settings in the menu bar will bring you to the Time Machine page that again is currently preparing a backup. This is a 2 terabyte drive. And right now, this 2 terabyte drive is almost all the way full, 33.14 gigabytes available, encrypted, meaning that it has been storing backups for quite a long time. And by the way, that rate is daily backups for the past month, weekly backups for all previous months. And then, of course, hourly backups for the past 24 hours. So now, as you can see, the files, the changes that are taking place, it's kind of searching through and finding what's changed over time and doing a backup of that. So again, if you do use a USB drive, it's important that you regularly plug it in and remember to do so. Otherwise, you will be faced with lots of changes and also lots of space between your previous Time Machine backups and the most recent ones. My recommendation, of course, is to, instead of using the USB drive, consider using something like network attached storage. Or, of course, if you have a machine that doesn't move, like the Mac Studio that I have, always having a drive plugged in and available as a Time Machine backup is a great thing. And so I have a drive that is always connected to the Mac Studio and is regularly getting Time Machine backups so that if I need to restore any files, I am able to do so. Folks, that is going to bring us to the end of this episode of Hands on Mac. I thank you so much for tuning in, for your support, and I'll catch you again next week for another episode of Hands on Mac. If you have any questions, concerns, if you have subject suggestions, of course, send those Mikah@twit.tv. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.